We're excited to see what Dre'Mont Jones brings to this Baltimore Ravens defense, specifically their pass rush unit that needs all the help that they can possibly get. He is not only an edge rusher, but he can rush from the inside of the defensive line as well. But just how good can Dre'Mont Jones be? Can he be among the elite when it comes to pass rush? And I know when you hear me say that, Ingraven, you probably just hyping him up. He ain't all that. He nice, but he ain't of the elite. But what about last week? How did he match up with the best pass rushers in the NFL from just a week ago? Well, let me show you this chart. Dre'Mont Jones says the top NFL edge rushers in week 9, according to PFSN's Edge Impact metric. Dre'Mont Jones was number 6. Not in the AFC, but in the NFL. In the entire league. And some of the names that he's listed with are Derek Hall, Alex Highsmith, Greg Rousseau, Joey Bosa, Max Crosby. He's literally right under him. And he's over guys like Josh Hines Allen, TJ Watt. Oh, we a little familiar with that guy, I think so. Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, we know all about him, especially from week 3. And Daniil Hunter, who is a baller, and that's somebody who I always wanted the Ravens to get. That man just does nothing but produce. So when we see something like that, and I know it's just from 1 week, but one thing when you hear about Dre'Mont Jones, a word that you continue to hear is consistency. The man puts up numbers. He puts up consistent numbers year in, year out. So bringing him to this Baltimore Ravens defense can only help us be better. Let's get into my favorite part of these videos, which is your questions. First one came from my guy, Shawn. He said, is the AFC North a joke? Hey, man, I hope you and the family are doing well and glad you had a great time at that beatdown of the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, it was fun. He said, I never thought I would say this, but I'm kind of disappointed with the division right now. Obviously, I'm not rooting for the Steelers, Bengals, or Browns, but I feel like this division is getting to that level that the AFC East used to be, and that's just not fun. This is a big reason I hated the Patriots during their dynasty because they had such an easy road in the division. I genuinely cherished the rivalry we had with the Steelers in the 2000s and 2010s, and I thought we'd start having a similarly intense rivalry with the Bengals, but they just seem so sorry right now, and that's just not fulfilling. The Steelers are average at best every year with a subpar defense. The Bengals are elite on offense, but with Burrow, but the defense is atrocious with everyone asking to be traded, and the Browns are just the Browns. So what are the Ravens? What are the Baltimore Ravens? Have they been like dominating the AFC North or something like that? Have they been so good to where they've been winning so many games? They don't win a lot of games now. But what has that translated to exactly? Because you mentioned the Patriots earlier, and they had a super easy division. Their division was just terrible. But then they won like 1,000,003 playoff games and 1,000,004 Super Bowls. But what have the Ravens done? But anyway, he said, I want the North to have the reputation it used to have. Now, of course, I still want the Ravens to dominate and win every year, but at least make this close. Maybe I'm speaking too soon because we haven't even played the Bengals or Steelers yet this year, but I can already foresee those games being blowouts. As much as I would love that, it ain't sound like you've been watching the Ravens for too long, man. Because Ravens, like, them games where you just feel like, oh, yeah, we about to blow these boys out. We about to dog walk this team. And it's like, oh, then the Ravens do some Raven type stuff. But no, we'll see, man. Anyway, he said, I love it, but I also hate it, you know? No, man, I get what you're saying. You want the division to be respected again. You want it to be competitive again. I mean, I wouldn't mind if the Ravens just ran through the division every year. Of course, not like, okay, we stepping over these teams and whatnot. Like Allen Iverson to, who was that? To Tyronn Lue, I think. But anyway, but yeah, it just don't happen like that. And right now, I mean, well, you did say the whole AFC North, because you ain't say, oh, it's just the Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. That's a joke. You said the whole AFC North, so I'm assuming you included the Baltimore Ravens in there too. I mean, you got to. They 3-5. But anyway, he said on another note, if they were to have traded Keaton Mitchell, I would have lost it. Hey, well, I'm glad he ain't had to go through that. I'm glad none of us had to go through that because I would have been really upset too. He said, I think he's got the same level of talent as Jahmyr Gibbs, and when Henry hangs him up, Mitchell is our running back one for the foreseeable future. Oof. I don't think the Ravens view him like that. We said this in a previous video too. I don't think that they value him as nearly as much as they should. So I don't think that's going to happen. I'm excited to see what happens with Keaton Mitchell when he does get an opportunity to be somebody's RB1. I just don't think it'll ever happen for the Baltimore Ravens. Not because he's not talented enough, because he certainly is, but I just don't think that they value him like that. He said, and like Harbaugh, if the Ravens don't win the Super Bowl this year, I'm out. Ravens playoff scenario. Next question came from my guy, Ravens, the Phantom 6. He said, hope you and your family are doing well and that all the team Keep It Clean is doing great too. Appreciate that. He said, this isn't really a question, more like a message to the flock out there about where we stand and what we need to do to get into the playoffs. We've got 9 games left in the dream scenario. The best scenario is finishing 12-5. It certainly is. That would be great. That would be crazy, right? That would be insane. Now, if that were to happen, could John Harbaugh actually get Coach of the Year? I don't know, man, but I think that will probably go more. Well, the way that things are headed now, that could go to the Colts. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, he said, that's the same record we had last year, and that would mean we win the division and punch our ticket to the playoffs as division champs. Oh, yeah. Because if we went 12-5, that would mean we didn't lose another regular season game for the rest of the year. Because we done already lost 5 games. It's crazy. We done already lost 5 games. And we played 8 games so far. We done already lost 5. That's crazy. Anyway, I said, now even if we finish 11-6 or 10-7, we could still have a shot. But at that point, we'd be depending too much on the Steelers, and we've seen they can still win games. Just look at the Colts matchup. So realistically, the path is clear. We need to win out. We've got the 2-time MVP, the best quarterback in the world, Lamar Jackson. Our defense has been stepping up big, especially with Kyle Hamilton showing how versatile and dominant he is. If we keep that same energy, stick to the game plan, avoid turnovers, and protect the football, there's no reason we can't go on a run and finish strong. I just wanted to share this with you in the flock to keep everyone motivated and on the same page. Let's turn the season around, finish strong, and hopefully bring home the big dub and keep it clean. Hey, appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, win out would obviously be the simplest scenario, but you know Baltimore Ravens don't like making things simple. Now, I know you've seen us with this on at the Ravens-Dolphins game the other night, and I am very particular on where I wear the football games because we got to put on for the team. And this Chubbies shirt definitely had me covered. But with Chubbies, it doesn't just stop at these shirts. As the temperatures drop and the weather gets grim, they have flannels, pullovers, and quarter zips to keep you warm, stylish, and ready for anything. From freezing your cheeks off at a football game, all the way to holding court at the campfire. Chubbies got you covered. Now, the NFL by Chubbies collection, they caught me off guard, but I'm glad that it was a nice surprise. Because I didn't think they would ever pull off nothing like this. They've got these buttery stretch polos, swim trunks, and mesh shorts with your favorite team printed all over, as you can see. And they got all 32 teams available, even though I know we just gonna be hitting them up for the Raven stuff. But how can you get yours? Well, I'm about to tell you right now. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off for purchase at Chubbies with promo code Ingraven20 at checkout. Again, take advantage of Chubbies giving our listeners 20% off with promo code Ingraven20 at checkout. But if it's Black Friday, skip the code and take advantage of even bigger markdowns during their exclusive Black Friday sale. Just head to chubbyshorts.com. Make sure to support our show and tell them that we sent you. Playoff hope still alive. Next question came from my guy Duan. He said, I want to start off by sending a big shout out to our founding father, the OG Engraven, and an even bigger shout out to the Engraven family. They're the real MVP because without their support for you, we don't get this Ravens time to talk, and we definitely appreciate it. Now, I appreciate you, and shout out to them for sure because, yeah, without family supporting, then yeah, none of this will go down. But no, thank you. He said, and one more thing, I believe that because you're such a humble, down-to-earth guy, I've never met you, but I feel like we're good friends, and I feel like all the team Keep It Clean feels that way, so keep up the amazing work. I would hope so. Because like we always talk about, we can't say we family if we're not family. That's why whenever we see somebody from Team Keep It, it's all love, man, as it should be. Nobody is on no famous celebrity stuff. Nobody on that stuff. You know what? It's just regular people. We all regular people, man. So that's all just that common interest that we all have is just being Ravens fans, hoping the best for the team. We all got different ways of getting there. We all got our different strategies and stuff, but we all want the same goal, and that's for the Ravens to be successful. That's it. And we just all express it different ways and whatnot. We be passionate about it. And sometimes we got little disagreements, but that's what family does, right? Anyway, I said, sorry about that. Got off track a little bit, but now to the Ravens. I'm almost certain we're about to go under the radar and steal the headlines in the second half of the season with Pancake Pack back and refresh. I'm sure that's going to assist the offensive line. Adjustments still need to be made to protect Lamar at all costs, and now that Lamar is back, that should make life easier for King Henry. And please, I don't know if I'm missing something, but incorporate more play action after establishing the run. It's like taking candy from a baby. It goes hand in hand. Also, get Keaton out in space with screens and dump off so the acceleration doesn't have to get started. It's already going. Ooh, I love the detail in that. And yeah, that's true. Have him on them little toss plays, them pitch plays, get him on the outside, and watch him go. He said, oh, and the defense, where has where had Jaire been? It's like I'm playing Where's Waldo. I'm hoping he's getting healthier because that would be a great key addition if he can return to form. I just hope before the deadline they get a solid offensive lineman and a solid pass rusher. Although I want them to make some splash moves, I don't believe they'll do it. But until then, like the Pittsburgh Squealers will be in a few weeks with that #1 spot in the division, I'm out. Ooh, my guy, Duan. This was obviously sent before the trade deadline. But he was asking, where's Jaire? Well, you got the answer to that question because now he's in Philly. But he did also say, I want them to add a solid offensive lineman and a solid pass rusher. Well, they got one of the two. But then he also said he wanted them to make a splash move. Oh, no, that was dry as can be. Next question came from my guy, Bradley. He said, hey, Ingraven, I found your channel at the beginning of the season, looking for coverage on training camp and have been watching ever since. I love what you and your channel is all about and the family you all have here. I appreciate that, Brad. Thank you, man. He said, what was going on with Jaire Alexander? I was excited when they signed him because he's a very good corner, but he has not seen much playing time. I know he was injured and then he rushed to play too early against the Bills and didn't look great. When he played against the Texans, I thought he looked a lot better. Any ideas on why he was a healthy scratch for all of those games? They just, I don't know. It's just weird. I guess they didn't have a spot for him. And I also think what contributed was when they didn't have him out there, because I believe he played in the Texans game, I want to say, for like little bits and pieces of it. But he didn't play after the Texans game. And after the Texans, we played the Rams, the Bears, the Dolphins. And in the Rams game, I think with the defense, they had looked a little better. So the Ravens were like, we did that without Jaire, inactive. And then in the Bears game, the defense looked better. Then they're like, we did that without Jaire, inactive. And then the Dolphins game, same thing. So it just, then they obviously ended up moving on. He said, do you think it was a mutual decision to keep him healthy for the playoffs or keep him from getting injured for a potential? Oh, see, you was on it. You on it. He said, do you think it was a mutual decision to keep him healthy for the playoffs or keeping him from getting injured for a potential trade, or maybe something happened in the locker room between him and the coaching staff that led him to being sat? Just genuinely didn't understand why he wasn't playing since it's do or die, and I feel like the defense will be better with him on the field. So there you go. You were on it before you even knew you were on it. He said, appreciate any thoughts you may have on the matter. Sorry about the long message. First time sending a question in. Oh, it's all good, Bradley. You ain't got nothing to apologize for. I appreciate you. Let me take you through the emotions of us as Ravens fans. These next two questions came from my guy, Shawn, and one is right after the Dolphins game, and the second is right after the trade deadline. Here we go. He said, the NFL better watch out. Hey, Ingraven, hope everything is well with you and the family. This is the first Ravens game in a while where I could be happy watching it for the entire game. The defense finally played a complete game and forced turnovers. I'm still concerned about the pass rush despite a few sacks. Bingo, we still are. He said, Lamar is just so fun to watch, and the Ravens are always a better team when he's out there on the field. He's already equaled Josh Allen touchdowns so far this season despite missing 3 games. My parents were at the game and were able to get a picture with you. It was nice to speak to you on the short FaceTime call. Oh, that was your people. Okay, yeah, I remember I met them right at the beginning of the game, man. Okay, that's cool, man. Shout out to them. Oh, I ain't know that was your people, man. That's crazy, man. He said, my dad was the person who put me on to your channel, and I enjoyed your content because it was high quality, and the old theme song was actually very catchy. Oh, yeah, that was fun. But copyright is real deal. So, I appreciate that, though. He said, keep up the great work because that 100K is on the way. And just like the Dolphins GM, I'm out. Oh, yeah, us Ravens, we got that taken care of. Now, this is what he said after the trade deadline. He said, I'm extremely disappointed but not surprised. And Graven, I just got done watching a video about the Ravens' moves after the trade deadline, and I feel the exact same way. I'm extremely disappointed because there is no way you can watch how this team has played this season and be okay with making one move. Our O-line has been awful all year, and our pass rush is non-existent. Steve Smith Sr. always used the term just a guy, and that seems like what the Ravens do when it comes to making acquisitions. We always get the just a guy who can fill a role instead of getting the guy who can dominate in his position. We go for too many base hits and not the home run. Oof. It takes the Ravens too long to notice when things, it takes the Ravens too long to notice things when fans continue to point things out way beforehand. I don't get our obsession with keeping so many picks. Not every player you draft is going to be a hit or even be good enough to stay on the team. Not to throw shade at Dre'Mont Jones, but I don't understand how you go to the Titans and get him instead of a Jeffrey Simmons. I would have loved to get a Crosby. I would have even given up the farm to go and get Miles Myles Garrett because I think he's too good to be playing for that poverty franchise. It's so disappointing having to speak about the same issue every year when I see other teams be aggressive and get stars. The reasons the Eagles are so good is because they continue to be aggressive and bring in players who make immediate impact. I will not be surprised if Jaire Alexander becomes good again and remembers how to play football. Who said he forgot, though? Anyway, he said, now this is our team for the rest of the season, and we seem to be okay with that. Anything less than a Super Bowl appearance means Harbaugh needs to go. I hope we are ready for what is to come. There are no tough games in this league, and we better be ready. Thank you for reading my mini rant, and enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, no, I appreciate it. But you see, that's what these Ravens be doing to us. He was happy, hyped, excited. Same feelings after that Dolphins game. Oh, yeah, let's go, baby. And that Dolphins game had me feeling like, oh, we 3-5 now? Trade deadline coming up? Ravens, what we doing? And then we saw what they did, but then we also saw what they didn't do. And it was like, oh, okay. Disappointing. Obviously still hoping for the best, but very, very disappointing. But we move. Next question came from my guy, JDub. He said, momentum shift. What's up, Ingravenvids? Hope you had a great time at the Ravens-Dolphins game. I was wondering, why is it that the Ravens stated that they're making changes at O-line position, but somehow they don't make a change at O-line after the bye week? I don't remember them saying that. I remember John Harbaugh saying that they were going to take a look at everything, including the offensive line, but I don't remember him saying they were going to make any changes. But anyway, he said, and do you believe the defense can continue their dominant performance for the rest of the season? I hope so, but I think it's like kind of unrealistic to expect that. Now, we are getting ready to go up against some of the lesser teams in the league, so it's important that the Baltimore Ravens take advantage. Now, the Vikings are not one of those lesser teams. They are a sneaky good team, so Ravens better come with it. But after that, like, the schedule gets favorable. So we'll see how this defense does. But, hey, if they want to continue doing what they've been doing, no problem. He said, don't get me wrong, I like what I see with the Ravens and what they've done so far as a team. However, what still concerns me is the two guards, Voorhees and Falele, where the run game couldn't get going with Derrick Henry on a couple of runs against the Dolphins. Because if you saw how Brian Flores' defense was against the Lions on Sunday, boy, Lamar and Derrick are going to have a day with the Vikings defense. Yeah. Hopefully it ain't a tough day. He said, on the other hand, I hope the Ravens defense can step up and contain J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson and cause some turnovers on the Ravens because the Ravens offense can be the biggest difference between winning and losing. And right now the Ravens are on thin ice. Yeah, we certainly are. Because 3-5, you ain't got hardly any room for error. You actually got no room for error, but yeah. Anyway, he said, again, I appreciate all you do with Team Keep It Clean. Shout out to JDub. Appreciate you, my friend. Next question came from my guy, Jarvo. He said, well, the deadline is over and we didn't improve in the trenches. So what do you see happening moving forward? Oh, they just stick with the same stuff. We just got to hope for the best. Hopefully that the defensive line, they can improve. The offensive line, they can improve. That's just what we got to hope for. But what do I see happening? I mean, hopefully Aeneas Peoples can get in on the game, because what he was brought in, what we saw from him is somebody that can provide interior pressure. So maybe he'll be active on game day. We'll see. Anyway, he said, I really hate that we didn't give up a first for Williams, who would have helped us immediately and also be our future if Beeks doesn't return. So EDC is about to draft another 20 players this offseason and not trading up for a player. What do you see happening this offseason with this team as far as the roster goes, the staff, and the signings? I think everything just depends on how they finish this season first. Everything depends on that. If it just all depends. Because for me, the way that I feel now, like, obviously we've been saying, like, hey, if they anything short of the Super Bowl, Harbaugh got to go. So if Harbaugh went, then that would obviously mean that everybody under him would go as well. That'd be the whole coaching staff. But there also need to be some conversations had about Eric DaCosta as well. Next question came from my guy TJ. He said, first off, God bless you and your family and the channel and our Ravens. See, this is what I was just saying. He basically traded Adafe away to go get another Oweh with Dre'Mont Jones. Oweh has 4 sacks in 4 games, and Jones has 4 sacks in 4 games. Like, what is this? Well, no. Oweh got like 4.5 sacks in 4 games or in 5 games, whatever it is, with the Chargers. Yeah, no sacks over here in the games he played with us. I think he played, like 4 or 5 with us. So, yeah, it ain't the same. But anyway, he said he just traded to say we traded for somebody. Man, Raven, what needle did this move for you or Ravens? Because not one time for me. I pray he actually would have made a blockbuster needle moving trade, because this is just another mediocre move. I still believe this is all year, but come on, EDC. Move the needle, man, and you should have got us a blockbuster breaking news type player. No offense, Dre'Mont Jones is a journeyman, and he ain't that guy. And he was hoping that the Ravens got Quinnen Williams, but they obviously did not do that. And he said, man, this man needs to go. You let the Cowboys get Quinnen Williams. Like, what the heck is EDC doing, man? I'm sick of this old mediocre stuff they keep pulling. It's sickening. And you've had all day to do something, and you only get Dre'Mont Jones. He said, man, fire EDC at this point. Ozzie would have pulled the trigger, bumped them draft picks if we're trying to win a Super Bowl. This was ridiculous. Would Ozzie have pulled the trigger? I don't know about all that. Because he didn't even get Jarvis Landry, the wide receiver from the Dolphins. And I know he was available at a time. But so I don't know. I think it's more so just an organizational thing. To where the Ravens that's just not what they do. So yeah, he said this makes DK Metcalf. He didn't trade for when Lamar clearly asked for him. Devontae Adams as well, Quinnen Williams this year as well, Jalen Phillips. I can't even remember everyone else we should have had. Oh yeah, Jalen Ramsey while he was still young on the Jaguars. No, it's the Jalen Ramsey one actually goes back before he even got drafted, because the Ravens they called up I think it was the Cowboys to move up to draft Jalen Ramsey, but they wanted a first and a third, I think, and the Ravens were only willing to give up a first and a fourth. It was something like that. It was something where they weren't willing to give up the pick on the back end. That was either third or fourth round pick, and they didn't move up to get Jalen Ramsey. But anyway, he said, and yet we stuck with all this injured stuff. He done drafted, man. Raven, I'm so sick of it. If we don't win the Super Bowl this year, they need to clean house because EDC act like he don't like Lamar Jackson. Traded away two homies of his, Hollywood and Jaire. Well, hey, those are both Lamar's personal requests, but also Hollywood asked to be out. And he said Jaire, as far as Jaire, I wouldn't be surprised if he had asked to be out too because he wasn't playing. But he said, and keep piling up picks for what, man? We trying to win Super Bowls, not keep drafting folks who are injured and not helping us win now. I love my Ravens, but I'm really tired of this. I swear I am. And he said, EDC needs to be fired, man. Please clean house after the season. Harbaugh or EDC out the door. Don't let it hit you with a good Lord split your seat. I was just talking about that the other day. When fans say that, they'll be quick to say it on somebody. He said, get this clown show out of Baltimore and stop them from wasting years on Lamar Jackson in his prime. What a letdown. Next question came from my guy, J-Fiah. He said, Ingravenvids, it's your boy J-Fiah here. Hope you and the family are doing well. I actually was coaching a flag football team this year, and we lost the semifinal game on a bad call. Kids played great this year, and I know if we had Carter on our team, we would have been playing for a chip right now. Let Carter know that we're proud of him. I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to coach them kids, too, because that's a lot. It really, really is. It's a lot, and it just... it shows how much you care about them and your commitment to them as well. And I know for me, whenever I would go to Carter's practices, and sometimes even before the games, because the team, the coach was, anyway, I would regret not signing up to do coaching. I regretted it. Not too much, but I did regret it because I'm like, man, I just want to say some stuff, but it's not my place because I'm not one of the coaches. I didn't sign up. But I just want to, I'm like, oh, I see it, but I just. So it would be like, kind of like frustrating because you want to like put them on and say, hey, this is what y'all should be doing. You should do this. But I didn't sign up, so I couldn't say nothing. So shout out to you, man. Anyway, he said, now to my rant with a question thrown in there somewhere. I have been one that has said this needs to be Harbaugh's last year, but then we started winning and we made the two initial trades. I was like, oh man, these Ravens are making me believe again. And maybe Ingraven was right, but bro, after us standing pat at the trade deadline with only one move, I'm like, do we really want to win? Take a team like the Eagles, for example. These guys have been in the Super Bowl 3 times in this decade. They could be super cautious, but every trade deadline, they make a trade that seems to work out for them. They have a high-priced quarterback, 2 great receivers, a top 5 running back, and a good defense, and they still make moves. My goodness, we always talk about the Eagles. We always compare the Baltimore Ravens to the Philadelphia Eagles, but the way that you inserted that in there, high-priced quarterback, top running back, top receivers, top tight end as well, amazing offensive line as well, great defense as well, with the pass rush, might I add, and they still be making moves. They still be going in. Shout out to Philly, man. Anyway, he said, they don't worry about stockpiling draft picks as much as stockpiling talent. This makes me wonder if we got rid of Harbaugh, would DeCosta change his ways for a new coach? That's an interesting point. That's a good point. That's a great question. That's a powerful question too. Oof. He said, or are Harbaugh and DeCosta tied together? You asking some real stuff. He said, is that why we can't get rid of one? Because it would mean we would need to be rid of the other. I get our strategy of wanting to develop talent, but at some point we need to ask ourselves, do we want to maximize the talent we have or just play the continual what-if game? Because the Eagles be swinging for the fences and showing they are trying to contend every year. Wow. That's very, very powerful. Some strong. Now, let's go piece by piece. Would DeCosta change his ways if he got a new head coach? That's something that's scary to think about because, again, DeCosta been with the Ravens for a long time. So that Ravens blood is in his veins. And so I think that Ravens way would be in his veins, possibly. Because if you've been with this team for years, decades, would you be all of a sudden willing to change stuff up with a new head coach? Now, you do know that the GMs follow the head coach. But if that head coach was different than a Harbaugh, if he wasn't your neighbor, if he wasn't like family to you, he could become like family to you, of course. But if he was different, would you be willing to adjust and adapt? Oftentimes with the Baltimore Ravens, they do those things too late. And I mean, him adjusting now would be too late because you should have done a lot of adjusting years ago. But I don't know, man. And then you ask, are they tied to the hip? So if you got rid of one, you get rid of the other. A lot of times, if you got a new GM, he would obviously want to pick a new head coach. But if you got a new head coach, he doesn't necessarily need to pick a new GM. But how would Bisciotti feel about that? It's like whenever the conversation gets to Eric DeCosta, it has to be at Bisciotti as well. Because he's the only one that will make the ultimate call, the final call, the boss call. Because he is the boss. He is the owner. So if anything happens, it's going to be him making it happen. Anyway, he said, finally, I don't want to hear no more reports of who we could have gotten because that joint be so frustrating. Like, yo, we could have had this guy or that guy, but the deal fell through. Oh, don't worry. Once we see something on that's official, don't worry, we're going to talk about it. You might have to mute that part of the video, but I'm sure we're going to get something. But anyway, he said, well, brothers, it's your job to make the deals go through. So let's stop talking about what could have happened and make things happen. I'm just tired of the maybes that are almost sort of getting guys that are good. Our GM and coach got to see that Lamar ain't going to be Lamar forever. We can beat the Chiefs and Bills, but we really got to try. How are you feeling after this missed opportunity, and how far do you think this team can really go? I think they can go all the way, but if they're going to go all the way, things have to be more than perfect. You can't lose. You got to stay healthy. The execution got to be right. The coaching got to be right. Things have to be much better before the ball is even snapped. The decision-making has to be much better. Who plays, who doesn't play, who gets more opportunities, who doesn't. These are all things that impact the game in huge, huge, huge ways. We're 3-5 right now. Like somebody talked about earlier, there's a possibility that they can go 12-5. There is. That would be, that'd be crazy. It's possible. It's still possible right now, though. One game at a time, right? But yeah, everything is stacked against the Baltimore Ravens. Everything. So I know a lot of people say, hey, we do better as underdogs. A lot of people like this underdog role, even though a lot of people still believe in the Baltimore Ravens. And hopefully the Baltimore Ravens do give them a reason to continue to believe in them. So we'll see. He said, thanks for all you do for the spirits of Flock Nation. I know you're going to be our future GM, and like my dreams of a Super Bowl season, I'm out. No, man, you can't say your dreams are out yet because we still in this thing.